Hi, I'm Debbie, and today we're keeping it simple with Testa's Pantry. Have you ever tried focaccia? It's wonderful. It's crispy, it's light, and it's dimpled so that it holds all of the extra virgin olive oil and the seasoning that you put on it. So it's easy to make. It really is simple. I started making this a couple of days ago because it's a process. The secret is in the rising, which is done in the refrigerator. So this dough you make by combining in a bowl 3 1/4 cups of all-purpose flour, a tablespoon of kosher salt, and a 1/2 teaspoon of active dry yeast. Whisk that together and then add 1 3/4 cups of warm water. Get it? It's a sticky dough. And you get it all mixed together, and then you put 2 tablespoons of our arbequina. You want something fruity for baking in a bowl, and large enough to hold this sticky mess. And you put that in a bowl, you circle it around, you put your dough in it and turn it over so that it coats all the sides. You cover that bowl tightly, and you put it in the fridge for 2-3 days. That's it. And then you take it out when you're ready to bake and let it come to room temperature. Now, right now, I have it stretched out in this pan. And you want to make sure that it's at room temperature for long enough so that you can get it all stretched out. And you make, and the pan, you have to put a little bit of olive oil and spread that around too. So you use the same olive oil, extra virgin, Testa's Pantry. And if you don't have arbequina, you can use a Nocellara, you can use a Cornecchi, or you can use our Oki Blanca. All right, so that's pretty much all stretched out. I set my oven for 450 degrees. It has to cook at a hot oven. So now I'm going to go through and I'm going to dimple the dough. So you press down so that your fingers make little dimples in the dough, which is the fun part. You get your hands, in a sticky mess. And that's where we're going to actually collect all of the herbs and the seasonings that we want to put on. Now, that's where your creativity comes to play. Because in addition to salt and our extra virgin olive oil, you can put on this focaccia whatever you want. You can use hot pepper, you can use oregano, you can use thyme. That's my oven buzzer telling me that it's reached temperature. So what I'm going to do now is drizzle a little bit more, a couple tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. As I'm using the arbequina because it's fruity, and that's what I had started the dough with. All right, so that's pretty much, I'll spread it out when I put the salt on. I'm going to sprinkle some salt. Now, you want about a tablespoon. So I have that on there. Now I'm going to spread it out so it's spreading along with the salt and the olive oil, and we're making more dimples. It's like a child playing in the mud in the back, except this is dough and it's delicious. Now this is going to bake for about 20 minutes. I will take a picture of it after it's baked. You want it to get light, and so it's going to puff up. You want it to be light but nice and brown and crispy. We like rosemary, so I'm putting rosemary on here, and I'm going to sprinkle this around. It tastes absolutely delicious. It's just perfect. You can serve this with cheese. You can serve it alongside a bowl of soup. It's very versatile, or you can just enjoy it. Now the rosemary, I'm going to go a little bit heavier on that, but I had to get rid of, there. This one sprig is a little bit awkward. Now I'm just going to take and go like so with the rest. And it's delicious. Now, I have used thyme on focaccia before as well. You want to use a fresh herb so that you don't get, it doesn't burn. And if you don't like herbs or you don't want any, then you can just leave it the way it is. And it's beautiful glory. And it's amazing too, because you don't need, a half a teaspoon of yeast is not a lot of yeast, and yet it puffs up beautifully. Our daughter saw it made in Italy, and she said it's quite a process. But now this is the refrigerated dough, so it's a little bit different than the way it's made in Italy. We like the refrigerated dough because we like to keep it simple. Okay, so I think that's pretty much it. I'm ready to pop this baby in the oven. And one thing to remember is I'm putting it in this way, and then I'm about halfway through, after 10 minutes, I'm going to turn the pan around. So, because ovens are uneven, you never know. Okay, so I'm going to put my timer on for 10 minutes, and I'll turn it around and let it finish cooking, and that's it. So I'll send a picture afterwards so you can see how it looks when it's finished. I'll talk to you soon.